move away, but then we keep it. We create a distance while we're with you. Gravity pushes us away. Never seemed to make a lot of sense. We never really understood the fact that gravity pushes us away. Walk away from it all. Should we just give up? We are the blind, we are the lost. Run from all our mistakes. When we turn away, we are the blind, we are the lost. Gravity seems to lie when it pushes us all aside. We force out these stars. We're not the blind, we're not the lost. We're not the blind, we're not the lost. Walked on straight from my bed. We'll never look back. We're not the blind, we are the ones that face the mistakes that we make. We won't turn away. We're not the blind, we're not the lost.
Mr. Prof, are you there?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Great.
Here we go.
Cool. Well, looks like we're just waiting for one player. Thanks for joining us, guys. This is the ESEA Season 26 semi-finals. Unfortunately, Anthrax's internet just decided to die, so I had to get a last-minute replacement. Thank you, Prof, for saving me yet again. This is the second time you've saved my ass.
It's not the end of the world, I guess. I mean, obviously, I think Anthrax would have been a little bit more hyped for this this game, but I'll do my best to fill in.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate you being here. I really appreciate all you guys joining us. Hello, thanks for being here. And it looks like we've got all the players on the server. So for me, I'm going to get to be a play-by-play commentator, which is not the thing that I usually do. So let's give it a go and have some fun with it. I think it's going to be a really fun encounter. I do think Bravado should have this, but Goliath have been looking really good lately.
Yeah, I mean, Goliath is definitely a dangerous team at the moment. Lots of aim power, lots of... well, I mean, high skill, to say the very least, and they certainly have a couple of players that can pop off, not to mention that Deviant has looked more than solid, and if you want a player that's never going to let you down in the trenches, I think Deviant is the man to go to.
Indeed, he's been looking really good lately, and usually he's more of a supportive element, but he was just going ham in that quarterfinal. He looked really good, and overall his stats in the last, I'd probably say, 3 or 4 weeks worth of games, he's just been right up there. Probably the best player on the team.
I mean, maybe not the best, but certainly one of.
Well, statistically, shall we say?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. I mean, it's a lovely situation for Goliath to be in, because if he's the one putting up numbers, then you still have Hacker, Massacre, and Nefon to go big. It's a wonderful situation. Of course, he can't be the only one fragging. I mean, if you're going up against BVD, you need more than one guy putting in the work. So they will definitely have to make certain that Deviant gets a little bit of support tonight if he is to be the man to put up the big numbers.
Yeah, we'll have to see how it works out. Of course, we're starting out on this particular map. Take us through the maps for tonight.
Alright, so it's going to be Cobble, Overpass, sorry, no, it's going to be Cobble, Train, and then Inferno as the last one. Now, these maps kind of do fall into Bravado's wheelhouse. BVD obviously has loved playing Cobble most of this year. Train, they actually, I think, probably the best team in the country, beating out energy the last time they did play on the map, so they're certainly dangerous on the first 2 maps. Inferno is a little bit of a middle of the pool map for both these teams, but it does leave the possibility that if Goliath doesn't get things their own way on their own map, Cobble here, it could end up being a 2-0 for BVD. So Goliath really has to pitch up big time in the first map, because I don't think the second map is really going to be as favored as it is in the first for them.
Indeed, I mean Cobble. If I look at it, it was the first map as well in the quarterfinal against XD last week, and I actually had some hopes for XD going into that game that they might actually have a chance against Goliath, but didn't turn out to be the case. The one feature that I found of the first half particularly was just the amount of force flying from Goliath and from XD. I mean, they were both just going crazy with the force flies. Kind of feel like if you take that approach against Bravado, you might get punished.
Yeah, I mean, BVD is also one of those teams that does love to force buy, though, so it certainly is going to be a game based predominantly on the outrageous skill of the 10 players involved. And I think BVD just a little bit more consistent in who puts up the numbers.
Yeah, they've been really good, especially after the South Africa loss. I mean, they looked lackluster there, but since then, the only guys they lost to was Energy in the group stages. So let's see how it works out, guys. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate you being here again. This is Bravado Gaming versus Goliath. This is the ESEA Season 26 semi-final. We're on map 1 here, and I've got Super Sub Profeci in for Anthrax, because unfortunately, after 2 weeks of internet issues for both myself and Anthrax, his internet died again. So unfortunately, he was not able to come, but Profeci saving my ass, saving everybody's ass, and making sure we could actually bring you this game. Please let us know if there's any audio issues or any video issues or anything, because I actually had to format my computer, which made it a little difficult to get this all ready. But we are ready to go. And Profeci, are you done doing your dishes on that side?
No, it's actually just a plate that fell over.
Cool. So we're going into the pistol round. Yeah. Goliath starting on the CT side, BVD on the T side, and T side is generally where you want to be on this map.
Yeah, T side generally is very, very favored. CT sides have a hard time of it without any utility, and Nefon's going to spot everything as Detrini clops Sonic in the back of the head there to start the round off.
Now, it's not going to help their cause, but they're going to be helped by Fady getting the pick there early on Hackham. Hackham getting aggressive. He spotted a lot of players, but BVD not choosing to move off this just yet, slowing it down, and maybe keeping Goliath guessing for a bit, yeah.
Yeah, Detrini is the one with the smoke and the flash, so he's going to be having to set things up. Do they make the call for B? It looks like Goliath's actually decided to almost commit fully here, and that's going to turn things around big time. JT and Elusive drags up, and Fady completing the double, and that should be the end of the round here. Goliath has an incredibly tough time. Massacre in a 1v5 moving into B side.
Now, that flash was really on point there, catching both players and making the kills pretty easy there for the entrymen from Bravado, and Detrini going to get the backstab there on Massacre, and that's 1-0 to Bravado. So really simple round for them, not even losing a player, and almost seemed like Sonic had more damage done to him there by his teammate than the enemy. So every player taking damage, but nobody even really low.
Yeah, I mean, that was actually very, very well played there by Bravado. Didn't really panic at all. I mean, you would have thought maybe, second guess yourself when Nefon spots the whole team, but they just wait. Hackham, unfortunately, I think makes a little bit of an overzealous decision there to try and take that fight. He was kind of tapping away, not expecting the whole of Bravado to be there, and in the end, it was Fady that just shot him in the face. So, bit of a mistake, but certainly not the end of the world, and this is a map that force buys can work out. So Goliath are going to buy up as is expected. BVD. Let's see how successful they will be here. Actually heavy on the UMPs this round, which is a little bit unexpected. Usually you'd go, I'd just say maybe one more 8k if you could get it.
Oh, let's see if it
at least another
Galil.
Galil.
Yeah, so situation is everything is quiet. They're taking their time. 4 players towards A, and in fact the bomb is rotating over there. Nobody on Goliath pushing off B though to get any information, but they do have 3 players here, and it could work in their favor. They just don't have any utility really to work with. Fady now going in on the entry. He should get himself goals and does. Now on the hunt for some more and finds Massacre as well. The site is blown wide open here. There's Sonic also coming in, taking down Nefon, and it's a 5v2. For Bravado Gaming, it's going to be really difficult. They just need to maybe find a kill or 2 and get a weapon. Spraying away there with the Deagle.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I think Goliath should probably just back out and save. They have armor and they have 2 upgraded pistols, so Deviant looks to be making that decision, but I think Goliath I mean, this is a very, very tough map for the CTs, especially because it's so difficult to actually push as a CT for information, and as a result, there's just nothing that you can do if the T's execute. There's also the rotations mean that if you gamble on, you know, A or B side, it often just means that you have no hope of getting in. So, a good frag there for Deviant. That'll be the second of the round, but he is low. Does he get Fady? Fady's not going to spot him at the start, but not enough HP to complete the kills. Fady leans him up.
Yeah, Deviant needed the headshot there, and it didn't work out for him. 17 HP in a dream. But the dream is not realized, and unfortunately for Goliath here, only player with kills at the moment is Deviant.
Yeah, I mean, we said he has been the best, but he needs a little bit of support. So early rounds, you can't really complain too much at this stage, as I mean, BVD did have a very good B execute there. Goliath are going to stack A, but BVD seems to have made the right call and are rushing towards B. So Goliath, well, Hackham isn't seemingly aware. Bravado, I mean, this should just be farming implement for Sonic right now. He spotted the first player, he must have spotted the rest, and BVD should get the plant, and Sonic should just get lots and lots of kills.
One would think so. It's going to just be padding the stats, padding the money for Bravado Gaming as the bomb goes down. Thanks for joining us again, guys. This is the ESEA Season 26 semi-final, Bravado Gaming and Goliath Gaming. We're in the third round. Bravado looking pretty good so far. And pretty good from Prof to actually show up and help me out, because Anthrax's internet, after 2 weeks of issues, we thought it was fixed. It's not fixed. So, unfortunately, he had to bow out. But Prof has saved me from doing a solo cast, which I've never done before and sounds frankly terrifying. So, no.
Well, it's not so terrifying. It's just you just gotta make certain that you don't talk too much, as I clearly am doing. As Massacre, he's going to get executed there by JT, and that should be the third round for Bravado Gaming. Goliath now, they are going to be on the buy. It's not going to be a perfect one. The force does mean that they will be on semi-low utility here. Flashes and smokes will be coming out. One grenade at them, actually 2 grenades. So light on actual smokes to hold things off. Actually, no, it's only Goliath. Sorry, it's only Golds that doesn't have a smoke. Just lots of flashes. But other than that, Goliath will be struggling, I think, to retake a site here at the moment if things go south for them.
Detrony now going for the pick here, looking to see what he can find. And Hackham's going to walk into his crosshair. The headshot from Detrony, beautiful shot from him, and that works out well. They've got 2 UMPs on the Bravado side as well, so that early pick is going to help them out. Sort of treating it as a bit of a bonus round, because they still have the money to buy even if they lose the round.
Yeah, it's just the one debate about the AWP. If you're going to pick up the UMPs, do you still go with the AWP at that point? Because the UMP is not going to be as capable of protecting him. But Goliath there, I mean, trying to get the boost up onto the tree, that does of course cost you the ability to get all the way down to the end of B, or B long, sorry. And I mean, Bravado just taking full advantage of it. Detrony getting a pretty solid frag there.
Yeah, taking the responsibility on himself. He is, of course, the in-game leader nowadays again. So making that call and deciding to go for the pick, and it works out perfectly. So Bravado, as they like to do, slowing things down here and just trying to see if any kind of response comes from Goliath. And conventional wisdom sort of says go on the offensive when you lose a player and try to equalize the numbers. But Goliath is sort of turtling here.
With Bravado's position here, especially Fady, I mean, if Fady breaks towards A, I don't really see how the B players can actually stop him at this point. They aren't really spotting through the connector. So again, Bravado going A.
Spotted. JD takes him down there, and there's Elusive getting the kill on Massacre. The backstab attempt coming in there, but Neff is going to stop it. The problem for them is they're locked out of the bomb site. They got nowhere to go except run away with these guns.
Yeah, instant save there. And I mean, like, that was very, very weird. I think had they challenged drop, I don't know if they heard it, because it looked like Nefon was spotting the drop. Like, he must have seen something, in my opinion. But it's such a tricky situation, because if Fady had actually hopped out of connector, he would have had a free run to the A site and would have gotten a massive flank on. And that is unfortunately the problem with losing players early. And, well, I mean, losing players early, losing players late. Elusive is more than up to that task as he picks up another 2.
Yeah, denying them keeping any of those weapons, and economy not looking good for Goliath. They'll be on the single save and they'll be on the buy in the next round. Looking at the scores at the moment, JT, Fady, Elusive, everybody contributing pretty well for Bravado. On the other side, only Deviant and Neff with actual kills, so they definitely desperately need the likes of Massacre and Hackham to come into this game, and on the next buy they're going to be hoping for that. Yeah.
Well, I mean, this is the problem with Cobble, is, as I said, you know, like, running with low utils on this map is such a tricky situation for the CTs, especially towards that B side, because of how easy it is to rush. JT is going to get caught with his pants down. somehow not finished off there. Nefon getting really unlucky on that final shot, leaving him on 2 HP. But I mean, JT still, he's got a UMP. He's pretty much still in farming mode. He's going to actually swap it with Detrini, give Detrini the weaker weapon.
That's a good
JT
call.
was, yeah, I mean, JT was the primary AWPer for his team last year as well as the captain, so he certainly is more than capable of using it. Detrino is going to be the man leading the charge. Does he spot Deviant? He does indeed. Deviant cannot win that fight.
Doesn't add to his tally, does Deviant, but Detrini winning out on the battle. They're looking to execute here, and JT there, the low HP man, getting caught out before Detrini is able to come in with the trade. Don't expect Goliath to be able to do too much, except maybe get a kill or two, maybe get themselves a weapon. Detrini seems to be aware that somebody could be behind the smoke, and he does take Neff down. So bomb going down, Massacre man alone here, and he's just going to hope to do some economic damage.
Yeah, he's doing quite a bit of damage there. Does have armor and a pistol. Maybe... I think just going to get overrun. They could really get away, but... I mean, ideally, you try and just save, you know, in that situation as well. It sucks, but... You'd at least have armor, maybe able to drop another AWP to Teamy. Nefon does have enough to get, though, but he is very, very light on utility.
Yeah, so this is going pretty quickly here, guys. Round 6 already, and a South African esports game actually started on time. I would fall over backwards in my chair if it wouldn't hurt so much. I'm surprised, and I don't think anybody's surprised by the scoreline at the moment. Bravado doing what they do. Goliath got the skill, they've got the ability. Let's see if they can come back into this.
Yep, just flashes. A little bit of presence from Bravado at B side. JT is pretty far out though, and once again Goliath doesn't really look to contest this area. His Massacre is going to get sprayed through the smoke. That'll be elusive going down. He's going to try and get himself to safety now. JT trying to take a fight. He's going to win the first one. Does he win the second? He's actually not going to get challenged by Hackham. That early frag against Hackham on the pistol rounds really seems to have muted his taste for taking that fight on platform there.
Yeah, rather reserved by his standards usually. Fady now on the hunt. The entry man looking to find himself a kill. Sonic spotting Massacre, and Massacre somehow replying with a headshot there. Goals also gets the kill on Fady, and that leaves JT and Detrini. Detrini executes Goals their headshot from the AWP at close range, using that thing like a shotgun. And we've got a player there. That's JT all the way down drop, so he's pretty well placed here as Detrini rotates in. If JT can maybe find a kill here and open things up for his teammate. Yeah, timing is going to be crucial here. JT goes out, misses the timing unfortunately, and Neff takes down Detrini. So that leaves JT alone. Neff taking him down too, and that's the first time we're going to see the AWP for Goliath, and it works out perfectly for them.
That it does. Unfortunately, Bravado, I mean, I really think had Sonic been able to get the drop on... or actually get the kill there on Massacre, that would have probably swung around, but as it was, Massacre flying through the air, shoots Sonic in the face and happens to win the duel, and unfortunately they can't get enough going through the middle as a result. I think Gold's picked up, it was, who would it have been there? Fady in the mid, below his area, so as it was, Bravado, they're still well within reach. They got tons of money here. Goliath, you can actually see, actually ended up on slightly worse equipment in terms of...
through the door! Sonic going down. As that shot came in, I was just sort of held my breath thinking, is this actually going to happen? And it did.
Well, if you want to start off a round well against Bravado, killing Sonic is probably close to the top on best ways to start. So, Goliath at the moment, they are going to be facing the drop rush. Is it a rush? No, it's not a rush. Only Fady goes down.
Oh, and Neff winning the AWP battle against Detrini again. This is interesting to me because I mean Neff is not fancied as a primary AWP, but he's been trying really hard to take on that role for Goliath, and so far working out pretty well. And of course they're chasing the game in terms of rounds, but Neff now on a double kill yet again with the AWP. Yeah,
and doing very, very well. Good to see that he's moving as well. That was something that we saw a lot out of Black Poison this year. Neff is really hoping that his player at the Rock wins the fight. He's going to get a third, is Neff. It's all up to him now in a 2v... well, it's basically a 1v2 at this point. JT is waiting for Neff to make the mistake. Is he going to make the mistake? Oh, just the wrong time. Belusive is creeping up though. Oh. He's going to win the fourth, and Neff with a 4k. What a play by the Goliath AWPer.
Jeez, no, this is not a BO1. This is actually a BO3. This is map number 1. So thanks for joining us, of course, and thanks Neff for joining us there with that 4K. He's looking good. 6 kills in the last 2 rounds, so coming alive with the AWP. I thought Fady getting out a drop there with the first 2 kills that he got could have blown the round open, and I kind of thought as he got those 2 kills that was the round. But Neff doing some beautiful work, being really patient as well, and staying alive, and waiting for the support from his teammate, and in the end he didn't even need it.
Yeah, BVD looking even better with the utility this round as they're going to just straight up rush and Neff. Well, you can't deal with that many weapons at close range. Hackham though, he seems to be capable as Deviant also getting a couple of kills. So the rush is going to count for Deviant as well. Now Bravado does have control of the side. It's a 2v3, no weaponry really to speak of for Goliath here, so they have to get up close and personal. Do they have enough? No, they don't. Sonic kills the first. Masker gets the first on his team side, and JT will clean up the round.
Yeah, pretty easy for BVD in the end, but there was serious chaos going in that round, including a nade kill there as well. Everybody was flash and doing the flash dance there for a bit, so some good utility use there from Bravado to get into the site, and that really dents the economy for Goliath. Despite winning 2 rounds, they're left in a pretty money negative situation because of how few players they kept alive.
Yeah, that absolutely shattered them. And Neff actually buying up fully. I mean, if he is the primary op, surely you'd save just a little bit more than that. But he does go full utility armor and deagle, so trying to do as much damage as he can. And you will see the aggression now from Goliath on B long. So this should be able to give them a trade. Nope. Elusiv's going to get the kill here. JT's now going to be running out, and he's actually going to spot anybody except Deviant. Gets Deviant. But he surely something must be up. Like, either the whole of Goliath is on A with this kind of play, or something else has gone on. JT will probably make the call now at Nefon, getting another kill though. That should let them know.
Good work.
Fady has actually run straight into...
Oh my word, Nefon. He just gets 2 there. Gets a pistol kill, recovers the rifle, and gets another 2.
That's just madness.
Nefon is just beastly at the moment. Detrini's gonna sniff him out, gets the headshot on the low HP player. But it is a 2v1. And Detrini...
Does have the weapon advantage though, so... And I mean, Detrini is certainly one of the players you want in a clutch if you were ever to be on one.
Yeah, he's got time on his side, 45 seconds to work with here as well, so... It looks like Goliath are hedging their bets here, splitting their players up and hoping that he's going to run into the jaws of one of these waiting players, but we shall see. Like at How and Go TV, we've got a few guys also watching as well, commenting on the game. That's always interesting. Probably bet on the game or something. Somebody rusty.
Probably. So unfortunately, the timing I think might actually just do goals here. Is he going to spot Detrini? Does Detrini spot him? And yeah, there we go. That'll be making the call now. So it is Detrini in an actual 1v2 and goals, very nearly ending up in a 1v1 there. As Detrini is going to be blanked. And he's going to almost get the kill there as well, but he does take a ton of damage. He's going to spot Hackham. That's the first one. And he's going to get the second. Detrini. Well, the clutch god of South Africa, he is very, very well known for playing like that. And I mean, Goliath didn't have the greatest of weapons, but it certainly should have been in their favor for that round.
Yeah, shame for goals there that the timing just undid him, as you were pointing out. Didn't work out for him. He sort of doubted himself and decided to cheat over towards that B-bomb site, and it just undid him at the last moment there.
That a mistake
getting lucky as well.
Surely that must be
my word, he's the AWPer. This is this could be bad. But fast into this B site goes Bravado. Detrini, the point man, yeah, with Fady and JT taking lots of control, and it's all on Deviant. And Deviant gets 2 headshots with the deagle. He's looking good lately, but it is going to be the round probably going towards Bravado unless something crazy happens here with that shotgun in the hands of Neff. I just think, unfortunately for him, he wasn't really ideally placed to use it. And the problem for him is now that he goes down, they lose this round. And
he still can't buy an AWP.
He can't buy an AWP. It's pretty disastrous. Unfortunately, what was also disastrous is I forgot to put the auto director back on there because I'm a potato. So apologies for that, guys. That happens.
I mean, like, I think the biggest problem there for Neff was, okay, so he's going to get bought up, but he doesn't have armor. Now, if he doesn't buy the... I mean, that must have been a mistake that he bought that shoddy. Like, there's no logical reason that you buy that shoddy without armor in that
I think maybe he was expecting the rest of the team to force buy a miscommunication or something. We'd have to see. 3 players towards the A site here for Bravado, and Fady already looking to get aggressive early on. Yeah, he's going to be smoking off middle and trying to maybe push up those stairs to see if he can find himself a kill. Yeah, his teammates providing the covering fire, and the fire through the smoke there. Deviant doing great work, gets the headshot on JT.
JT's tried that a couple of times, and it's actually one of the first times that he's really been punished for that. So Goliath and Deviant especially just taking a chance and it working out for them this time. Fady will be the man turning around the corner. The flash is, once again, the timing's there that Massacre is able to get. I mean, this could actually end up buggering Bravado pretty badly, because now they're not going to know that the 2 players might be behind them. Now, it might suspect 1, but I don't know if they suspect 2. So
tense situation. I mean,
yeah.
Fady deciding to just sort of post himself there. And look how close these players are to each other. They don't know that they're there, but Hackham, you can see he smells something. His spidey sense is tingling. He knows something's going on.
Elusive gets the first one, that's goals. Hackham gets Fady though, and they're going to spot... Well, Hackham and Massacre are both gone. Sonic doing the dirty there on Hackham, and it is left to Deviant and Nefon. Nefon has no armor. I mean, Deviant's going to win the first, he's not going to win the second. At this point, Nefon should just back out and save. There's no point going for this play.
Goes for it nonetheless, and he's going to get taken down by Elusive. So good work there from Bravado, and Goliath looked to have the read on the situation. The problem for them was the entries from Bravado were just so good. They're getting the first 2 kills before Hackham can reply, and then he's traded immediately, and by that point it's pretty much too late for Goliath.
Yeah, I mean, I think the suspicion or the fact that they spotted BVD that far up by Hackham there might have actually forced Massacre to try and take a fight that he couldn't really win down in lows, and that meant that I believe it was Golds down there with him also that left him in a really terrible situation, because now he's got players on both sides of the fence, and he's going to get eaten very, very quickly if Bravado decided to turn on him.
Forcing the issue here on B. Elusive gets the entry there on Neff, and the other 4 players from Goliath were hedging their bets on A and happened to be wrong, unfortunately. This has worked out for Bravado a couple of times. I think if I think back to, what was it, the second round where Goliath decided to stack towards A as well, it didn't work out again. And maybe Bravado have got the read on them that they like to do that in those sorts of situations.
Yeah, it does often also seem that Bravado has a fairly solid read on Goliath's money, and as a result they make use of the famous B-rush on Plat. Massacre now has an AK not for long.
Yep, denied.
Fady removed. Yep. Okay, Detrony.
Through the smoke, he gets the kill. Hackham should find himself the kill here, and he's going to get himself an AK. Probably wants to get out, but Detrony will have his number and have his head pinned to the wall. So that's another round for Bravado, and they're making short work of this map on the T side. Of course, T side is favored here, so if Goliath can at least get themselves 5 on CT, they'll still be in this.
That they will. Again, okay, this is probably going to be their best buy in terms of utility all around. Deviant's going to be the only one without actual utility, but by and large, this is probably the best buy that Goliath's had all game. So this is really now where they have to win these last 5 rounds. It's not impossible to win from low rounds on the T side, but you desperately want at the very minimum 4. I think as Nefon's going to cop a bit of damage to the door there. Fady is up close, but he's not really all that keen. Molly's going to discourage him.
So yeah, guys, we're watching Bravado putting on their usual brand of slow aggression on this map, and Elusive catching the kill there on Massacre. The timing just undoing Massacre, unfortunately, and that's often what Counter-Strike's about, those small degrees of separation when it comes to the timing. And that's going to cause Deviant to rotate over towards the side. Fady already gotten quite far out here, so if he can catch the correct timing, yeah, he could blow this round wide open for Bravado and help them extend their lead. And Goliath desperately need this round. They desperately need the rest of the rounds in this half.
Yeah, the timing might actually stuff Fady here. The smoke is going to go through, so that should be enough. That's going to push him in, as Hackham is going to be killed off at the B side there, and Fady with a fantastic 45-degree flick to just shoot Deviant in the face.
Nicely done there from the entry fragger for Bravado Gaming, and it's going to be 11-2. Neff just going to be hoping to hang on to this gun. They're looking to take it away from him, though, so it's going to be pretty tough for him. The position that he's in as well, he can't really get out here. He's going to get 2 nonetheless, and that's stinging Bravado, but they got the money to chase this if they want to, and you can see they desperately want to take this AWP out of his hands. Yeah,
they have money for days, so Neff really needs to do his utmost to keep this AWP alive. Sitting in a little bit of an odd position, not really the place that you're going to expect him to be at first, and he's going to get a third. Sonic is going to be the next one down. Does he get the last? No, he doesn't. Elusive is going to clean him up.
Yeah, let's have a look at the scoreboard quickly. For Bravado, Elusive and Fady, the guys with the majority of the kills. And that's an interesting one to me. I mean, Elusive now relieved of the burden of in-game leadership. Detrony doing that, but it doesn't seem to be slowing Detrony down. But Elusive is looking really good on the scoreboard. And that's also kind of telling when the entry fragger is on 15 frags by this stage as well. He's really having a good time of it.
Yeah, I mean, I think the days when you don't have to have Sonic and JT putting up huge numbers is a luxury that only a team like BVD can actually afford. So 2 to 11 at this point. Goliath are not looking at great shakes, and once again they are saving for the last round. Do whatever they can here, but I mean, 2 players, no armor. Everybody's got an upgraded pistol and 1 grenade on goals. I don't know. Grenade, maybe a flash. I think would have preferred there.
Yeah, probably a little more useful if we're.
Yeah, the
honest about
problem with the nades is just like the nades are so inconsistent in CS:GO, and what are you really going to do? You already have a deagle, so you can kill him in one shot. So it just seems a bit odd to go that way. I would have much preferred to see the flash. And BVD have actually made very, very good reads on the Goliath gaming monetary situation, because they've constantly gone B whenever Goliath is either low on money or have bad weaponry. And Deviant is going to get shot in the face by JT. Can JT win the next fight? No, he's not. Netfun continues his good game at this point, as Sonic is going to get goals and finish him off as well.
The look been working out well for Sonic, and the headshot game working out well for Fady before he gets killed there by Massacre. But Massacre not going to last too long, and Bravado looking really good here, 12-2. And Goliath's last chance to pick up around here, 12-3 at least, is somewhat a tenable situation, but I don't really think so. I mean, going to double AWP, but it's already so late in the game. Might catch Bravado off guard, but geez, Bravado are looking almost unstoppable at this stage.
Yeah, it is a very, very rough situation for Goliath. And do they have the... Doesn't look like we actually have the spawn for the B long control, and Bravado are just going to be rushing out there, so hopefully the AWPs can do the work, but it's all up to Massacre. He's going to get caught. Well, Sonic's actually just going to wreck half his team. Massacre gets the first frag, isn't going to get X. He does get the second.
And the third, Massacre! Wow, what amazing work from him. It's all on Elusive. It's a 3v1. He needs to find the angle here, but he gets double peeked there. Neff takes him down, and that's the round for Goliath, and that's born on the back of Massacre going nuclear.
Yeah, that was some crazy close range AWPing there by Massacre to somehow survive the 2 players rushing him down. He did have a little bit of support from the drop down area, but I mean, still all on the young man there. As Bravado do end up losing the final round of the map. Oh, sorry, final round of the half.
So do you think Bravado had the correct read on them again? I mean, double AWP was there. They actually went fast, which in my opinion is the right thing to do. I guess they didn't really count on what came in there from Massacre. Massacre not always known for his AWPing, but did a tremendous job.
Yeah, I think it was probably the second round of flashes. Like the flashes to get into the site were great. They just didn't really, I think, make the best use of the next set of utility to actually take and hold the site at that point. So they got into the site but didn't really do anything with it. And you could see the idea was to try and rush the door, make certain that you could cut that area off and just prevent Goliath from having any hope at retake. But the problem was that with Massacre there and just not hitting the shots, it meant that the young man was able to turn the round in favor of Goliath. And I mean, the third shot I think was just the icing on the cake there as well.
So we go into the pistol round. This is the second half ESEA Season 26 semi-final. First map here, Cobble, between Bravado Gaming and Goliath Gaming. And Bravado had a fantastic first half there. Sonic now posted up towards middle, and the timing just undoes him completely. He would have actually spotted the bomb there had he stayed where he was. So he got CSGO a little bit.
Being very defensive. They're going to spot Goliath and hack him. Fady is going to get the first one. No, it's actually Detrian that picks up 2 there. And that should scupper the round on the B side. So it's all up to Sonic now. He is alone on A against 2. He's going to get the first. I mean, does it even need to be said? He's going to get the second. And that should just kill off the hope for Goliath here. It is going to be 13 rounds. Almost certainly going to be getting 14 and 15 unless Goliath pulls off a crazy force buy here. They got no money though. No kills on that round once again. So Goliath's pistols have been terrible in this first map.
Yeah, not looking good for them there at all. And I was going to say they probably need a force buy, but they didn't. They actually haven't. So... oh, late.
Nope,
late.
very late.
Okay, that was very late. It looked like they weren't going to at all, but they do it at well, it almost felt like they stood in spawn there and waited.
Yeah, really did feel like Sonic once again. He's got support this time. That'll be from Detriny. Both of them running from us. So I mean, long range a little bit better than what we saw from them on the pistol round. Sorry, on the first anti-eco in the first half.
In the first
what am I saying?
Words, they're in there somewhere, but...
they are very, very hard tonight, it seems, for me. As,
well, I mean, you're not usually a CSGO caster. I mean, people don't know you're actually a Dota caster, so... I appreciate you being here, looking after the cast, because otherwise it would have been me all alone because of Anthrax's potato that's known as the
Massacre.
internet.
I think it's South Africa's potato that's known as the
Oh,
internet.
jeez, yeah. I mean, I've had issues as well. And
Definitely
Detrony
take it first.
extending goals' issues there, unfortunately. Goals going
Yeah.
down. So Detrony now posted up towards long. Perfect flash there. Was that a team flash, actually? I think it
I think Sonic threw it. Definitely just used it to his advantage at the end there. Definitely gets a third. Deviant is still there, so Sonic is going to get the fourth. Detrony might very well have been on the ace. Nefon's actually going to get the long range kill. Sonic is going to pick up 2. So the air side hold, once again, it is basically the... I mean, it's a bank vault at this point. Goliath just can't seem to do anything against it.
Jeez, I mean, they knew exactly where Detrony was. He didn't change his position. He stayed there. He held the same angle for quite a while. Gets himself 3 kills. They don't put him down. I just think Goliath really doing enough with the pistol buy there. Now that they're in the situation where they have to fully save. And, well, the game is... well, the map is all but slipping away from them at this stage.
So they actively choosing to play to 15 so they can get a better buy in the 16th. I mean, most teams will actually just keep force buying. Maybe you get lucky at this point, but BVD are going to be holding on the B site for now. And it's all up to Detrony. Get the first. Yeah, doesn't get the second.
So one player left alive here, and they know exactly where he is. Hack him back in a corner. He's going to go down to Fady. So it doesn't work out for them. I was going to say that for a second, you know, if they overwhelmed Detrony and managed to push through connector there, it could have worked for them maybe in terms of getting a plant. I don't think they would have won the round. But they did do enough potentially, but the support play from Bravado were more than good enough to stop any eventuality of that happening.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is Detrony just took just long enough to go down that it meant that Goliath couldn't really do a whole lot of anything. I mean, you saw that by the time they were actually able to get the kill on him, they'd already started losing players from the B site doors. And I mean, you can't have that happening if you want any hope of a quick plant on A or B at that point.
Sonic getting a ton of information here, and he has the read that there might be somebody close. Had goals been just a few centimeters closer, he might have caught that. Hacker might catch this kill here, and Detrony getting really aggressive.
That's uber aggressive there, and Goals with a fantastic spray down through the doors against Sonic. Does take a ton of damage, but I mean, you'd be more than happy to take that trade in the end, as Elusive and Fady are now left to do as... I mean, they basically have to do a crazy job to keep things in control here for Bravado. I think Elusive is... Do they flash him out there? I mean, that's the only chance that BVD has, is if Goliath doesn't check that corner. Hackham seems to suspect.
Oh, and Elusive is going to get the kill. He escapes on 9 HP, so that's
Fights
rather
is trouble. But Goals executes JT, and that should be the A side for them. So Bravado, do they save here? I mean, they got tons of money, so it should be possible. Actually, they don't have tons of money. Fady's actually on 50. So maybe a better decision just to save at this point?
Yeah, I think it would probably be a good call from them to do so. We're going to see the bomb going down. And that'll be around for Goliath Gaming over Bravado. I nearly said Bravado because I'm just so used to saying Bravado because they've been winning so many rounds so far. But I think for Bravado, they're not going to be too worried about that. Goliath, though, they've got a lot of rounds to win back-to-back here to even take it to overtime on this first map. So for them, it's going to be a long road ahead of them. But they are experienced enough players to actually make this comeback. I just don't see it, man. It's going to be so hard.
Yeah, I mean, just looking back at this round, though, like a very, very, very weird push from Detrony. Like, that was ultra aggressive. Now, maybe he knows that, like, you know, we have enough rounds for me to get away with this kind of thing, but that was still crazy, especially walking that wide. Yeah, like very, very close up to the little cubby corner there on the B plat, opening himself up to what is often a known position where you just kind of hold all the way, you know, at the entrance to plat, up on that box there, and just kind of got shot in the head without even knowing where he was opening himself up to. It was very, very strange, I think, would be the best way to put it.
Yeah, very aggressive. But we're going to see Neff on an MP7, so he might be thinking they might be on a save. For him, there's only 2 of the players actually don't have head armor.
Probably the best weapon he could get with the money available.
True that. Let's see if Fady's able to find himself an encounter here towards drop. Neff just bouncing around with that weapon, using the mobility of the MP7, hoping to find some kind of opening, but he's forced off by that molly. Let's see what GG are able to do in this round. If they win this round, then they've set back Bravado's economy enough that they could maybe gather some momentum. Dictionary
Yeah.
getting aggressive again. That's probably what he was going for in the previous
But he
round.
has support this time.
Yeah, that does work out from him. Massacre on really low HP. 17 HP.
Oh.
Elusive fully flashed and still wrecks Massacre there. So Goals now in a lot of trouble. Runs out of bullets and gets taken down by Sonic. So this is looking like Bravado Gaming are going to take the first map here. It's all down to Deviant and Neff to make it happen. Neff's got nothing but an MP7.
Yeah, Bravado actually not aware of Goliath just charging through lowers here. And it will allow Goliath to get a bomb plant. And Bravado will kind of be like, wait, what? He was watching sight, boys. But as you said, it is going to still be a Goliath effort, or a mammoth effort. I think would be a better word. A mammoth
Indeed.
effort by Goliath to get themselves through this situation right now. It's 5 versus 2.
Oh, the molly actually fails, and that would have forced them out of the corner. But Fady should still get the kill. Doesn't actually. Neff gets the kill with the MP7, but there's the trades from Detrony and JT. That's going to be Bravado Gaming taking the first map, 16-4, and a very comprehensive victory for them indeed here in what is the first map of the semi-final here in ESEA Season 26.
Yeah, very, very easy game in the end for Bravado. As we said, this is one of their old stomping grounds. Been very, very good against the vast majority of South Africa. Only really Energy able to challenge them on it, and BVD more than up to the task. So 16-4 in the end. Goliath takes a rather rough loss on their own pick.
Yeah, they picked Cobble, of course. So now next we're going to BVD's pick, which is Train, and you got to think that Bravado on Train. I mean, they used to have a few troubles against Energy on that map, but they've really done a lot to tighten it up and improve at it, and they are one of the best at it. It's going to be absolutely, as you said, a mammoth task for Goliath to do anything on Train.
Yeah, I mean that was the map that I think BVD looked the best on when the last time that we saw them on LAN was actually up against, who would it have been? Vibora, I think it was, that they 16-2'd them or something on Train with
Yeah, the
Fady
Tunisians.
just going god.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing to me about Train is Fady was one of the players that used to have trouble on that map when he was soloing B, but after they switched up the map hold significantly, where they had Sonic there instead and moved Fady out towards A yard, it seemed to work a lot better.
That it did. And so other things like Sonic was the connector player as well, so he would often rotate onto the B side pretty regularly. So I think in the end, probably just a better hold. But again, we haven't seen a lot of them on Train. That is the other issue. You know, it's all very well saying that Fady looked good on that in that game, but it was the one time that we've seen him, and that is the problem that we have in SA, is that we don't actually have a lot of LAN tournaments.
Yeah, well, let's hope that gets rectified next year. Of course, we got some stuff coming up in January as well. So CS going to go right up until just before Christmas. It starts immediately thereafter again. We got WSG, I think, is the next thing happening in January. So look out for that. In the meantime, I think let's take a couple minutes break, get ourselves a cup of coffee or a tea or a Milo or whatever you prefer, and come back for the second map, which will be Train, and enjoy it with us. Thank you for joining us so far, guys, and we'll see you again in a couple minutes as soon as the guys are ready to go.
let me breathe. The air is leaving and I'm lost in need of you again. You break me down and you make me surrender. We are as Romeo and Juliet. So many years have passed the day since we fell in love and promised we'd never separate. But it seems the time has come that you run my life with no hope to fight, little time to hide. Lay down together in black and white, says the crimson we bleed tonight. As our time expires, we close our eyes, dreaming of a new sunrise. Love is never easy to love again, to find your reasons to pretend. Love is never easy to start again, go find your meaning. That's not the light. Say I'm sorry, forgiveness that you can't give, retracing all these lies. This is different, it's uncontrolled and breeding. I can't just fix this, there's something else persistent. Love is never easy to love again, to find your reasons to pretend. Love is never easy to start again, go find your meaning. I've been living a long time for this day to come, and you wasted it all away. I keep dreaming of emptiness and your face. Maybe I never sleep. Love is never easy to love again, to find your reasons to pretend. Love is never easy to start again, go find your meaning. That's not the light. That's not the light.
Mr. Prof, are you there? Oh, we don't have him yet, but we do have the knife round happening at the moment, guys. Let's just get some sound. I do apologize. I should have probably put that on a hotkey, but it's what happens when you have to format and have to cast very soon thereafter. So, do apologize for that. Knife round has happened. This is the second map here. And it's Bravado Gaming versus Goliath in ESEA Season 26. This is the semi-final. And Bravado going to be looks like starting on the CT side. I don't know if they've swapped over just yet. We shall see. And it sounds like we have a Prof who's rejoined us. They outsmarted you, Prof. They started while we were waiting for them. But it looks like we are going into the pistol round here. Bravado on the CT side, Goliath Gaming on the T side. Bomb is towards Pop Dog there, so maybe hoping for some aggression to come off Bravado to potentially punish them, but no exchange of gunfire just yet. Playing it really slowly is Goliath Gaming. And
Sonic's actually pushed aggressively on B side, so he's going to know fairly early whether Goliath's actually got anything going. Is Massacre going to win the fight? Is not. That is exactly what they cannot afford to start off the round with.
Making it hard for themselves, but Sonic actually the one making it even harder for them. And Elusive with a beautiful headshot there on Hack'em, almost casual, takes him down. It's a 3v5, and it's going to be really difficult for GG on Neff now. And he's got a shooting gallery facing him.
Yeah, Bravado just seemed to have a very, very good read on what Goliath is up to. Got Sonic holding all by himself on the B side, but that early kill means that Goliath very, very low on manpower right now, so Meg's going to come through.
Trying to beat the timing, but it doesn't work for him at all.
Nefon, okay,
Ooh, Fady.
Bravado
Elusive.
dealing in headshots only, it seems, as that's 4 players down. It's only Deviant left. Can he do anything? As he's going to get quite a bit of damage done to Fady. Elusive is also low, so there's the smallest of chances. He's going to do a ton of damage to Sonic as well. Headshots galore for Deviant here.
Here comes the backstab.
Does he have enough? He's going to get the first. He's not going to get... No.
Gets that
Alas.
down in the end. So it's 1-0 to Bravado. They only lose one player. So great start there for the BVD side. And of course, this is the map pick, so we definitely need to take that into account, guys. And thanks for joining us, of course. It's myself, Extremes, and Profeci with me. No Anthrax, internet dead. Story of our lives at the moment, it seems.
Maybe he's celebrating. I mean, think about it. Think about it. Anthrax is the only TO in South Africa who did not have a baby this week.
This is true. I mean, well, literally taking down Deviant. Burning Red from Quest ESL is his wife's had a baby, and Robert Hart's Infi from VS Gaming. Well, Kelly's also had a baby, so it's
Yeah.
2 esports babies this weekend, and well, weeks shall I say, and Barry the
Congrats
only
to
one without.
both.
Congrats to both indeed, and we've seen an even trade on the Servia Goliath with the Force buy. Bravado deciding to go rifles, and pretty much rifles only. I think Elusive had a FAMAS as well.
Did he? No, he had an M4. I'm pretty certain he had an
Oh,
M4.
yeah, cool. Okay, well,
So the scout and
I was too busy
M4s,
talking about babies. You put me on a tangent.
clearly. As I mean, Bravado certainly aren't going to be as kind as you would be to a baby to Goliath here, as they're going to get the first. Fady's going to get another one here. That will be Goliath. Sorry, Goals and Nefon going down. Massacre leaves only Hack'em alive, and the 2 Deans not capable of doing any damage to Bravado there, as it will be another fairly clean round for the boys in blue.
Easy as you like for them, and Goliath going to be on the save here, so Bravado should be able to back that round win up with another and make it 3-0.
Yeah, this should be a very, very free round. Sonic's actually decided to pick up the needle gun, and he's going to be... Oh, he's going to be farming pretty effectively. What do you think he's farming? Corn? What kind of cash drop is he going for?
Oh, he's going for many thousands, so backed up in 600 increments. There's no dollar bills in 600. He's going to run through the fire. He wants these kills. He gets all 3 Sonic. Jeez, that was just too audacious. It shouldn't have
How did
worked.
they not hear him, though? That
Oh,
was
he gets the
surely
last
something-
one.
How did they not hear him, though? It's like, surely he must have heard the sound of the ladder. They must have been like, oh, he's probably just stuffing around the ladder. Like, nope, I'm going to go straight up the ladder, straight through smoke, and just gun 3 of you.
But I mean, there was the sound of the ladder. There was the sound of him burning in the molly. It was like every sound cue was there for them, but they're all stacked up, and insult to injury is that last long-range kill that he gets with the MP9. So he's got plenty of money, and he brings out the AWP.
Interesting that Sonic's actually going to be the primary AWP here. They're leaving Detrony on the FAMAS. Maybe just a better spawn for Sonic here as he's going to get the first frag. Goals in the bin. Ex-Bravado player removed by the Bravado star, and that will be a horrible start for the Goliath side here as they are man down. They are going to get it around though. Hackam does quite a bit of damage there, and he gets out with fairly, I mean, a fairly healthy situation. Looks
Oh, nice from Massacre.
That was interesting. Detrony
Was that
once
a team
again
flash?
very, very aggressive.
I'm pretty sure
no,
it was
I
the
think-
flash from JT that he threw towards A main.
I don't know if that would have affected Detrony over there though.
Well, anyway, there's the kill for JT, and it's a 3-on-3. Neff going to win the fight towards Ivy as well, on 10 HP, so that's at least a saving grace for Bravado here. But advantage very much with Goliath, and it's been relatively sloppy from both teams, just swapping kills here. But it does put Goliath in a good position. And the two that are remaining for Bravado are split up. Sonic on the AWP.
JT's actually spotted them, so he'll know he's stuffed the bomb as well. He's going to try to take the fight against Deviant. Does he have enough? He didn't spot Nefon, I don't think, but he knows that the bomb is there. Sonic knows that Massacre's in the area, though, so it's a bit of a tricky one.
Oh.
And well, not tricky enough because Sonic is more than up to the task, and that'll be Massacre going down. And unfortunately, Nefon, 10 HP, he's going to have to do so much work. Might be able to get the drop on Sonic here. Not going to happen. The young man spots him before and removes him from play.
Sonic doing a lot of work in the round, gets himself the 3k, and he's on 10-1 in terms of the KD. So starting off really well. Yeah, he was relatively quiet on the previous map, but he was playing a lurk role on that map, and you know, Cobble wasn't really getting too involved in the game. Still ended on 16 kills though, which, considering how short the game was pretty good. So 4-0 here to Bravado. Good start for them. Goliath on the pistols again.
Does seem as though Bravado is actually playing a spawn-based AWP setup here because Detrony is the one with it this time. He had a closer spawn to the ramp as Sonic is actually just alone
Neff
over
get a
the
kill, and
AWP.
he does. Got a beautiful headshot there from the Deagle.
Nefon has been pretty good tonight. Top bragger on the first map for his team.
Trying for
One
the
of the
one
few to actually get to double digits. PG. Oh, it's going to be the rush. Do they have enough? It's only Sonic. Sorry, it's only Detrony here to hold him off. He's got an AWP as well. He's going to spot the first. He gets the first. That'll be Massacre. Nefon, though, is the one lying down. Detrony, how aggressive is he going to be here? He's got to have to be careful.
He gets the
He's
kill.
up to the task.
Jeez,
That's
he's
goals.
really aggressive with the AWP, looking for more. He's going to get more, in fact. There's just one player left alive. Attack him. Gets himself 3 bullets, needs the AK, manages to pick it up. So, he can make a fist of this, and he's going to get the kill there on Fady. But he's being boxed in here. It's going to be so difficult for him. The timing needs to work out, and it's not going to work out. Sonic with the kill there, so that's another round for Bravado. But
Very good round for Goliath, though.
it got really close. I mean, way closer than I would have expected.
Especially with the investment. They got a bomb plant. They got 3 kills. And that was very, very good for BVD. I'm sorry, for Goliath. I mean, BVD does win the round in the end, but I mean, look at the actual money on a lot of the players here for BVD. They're going to go for a double AWP setup as well. So JT and Detrony running it. And Fady, I mean, he's going to be buying down to very, very low money here. So BVD within reach of being broken if Goliath can win this round, but they have to win the round, to say the very least. So Nefon's going to be on the AWP, did very, very well in the first game. Does he have the chops for this map, though?
He's looked really good with that AWP. He didn't have it very often because of the money situation for Goliath, but he is
Aggression from BVD.
Yeah, geez, look at that. Elusive and Detrony pushed up there out of Ivy. So that could potentially be a honey trap there for Goliath to walk into. But everything pretty quiet, pretty slow at this stage.
Does leave a lot on Fady's shoulders, though. I mean, he's the only one holding the sights. So if he goes down and Goliath actually gets in, it becomes very, very tricky for Bravado to re-enter the site. They will obviously have the advantage of coming from Ivy, which I don't think Goliath will suspect. But it does still make life very, very tricky had they actually executed with only Fady on the site. Sonic wants to take that fight. Is he going to win it? No, he's not. Goliath, sorry, Goals gets him back as Elusive gets the trade frag onto Deviant.
On Fady, he does spot the AWPer in Neff. Neff just baiting out the shot, but he is posted up, hoping Fady's going to peek it again. But Fady playing the patient game, doing the right thing.
Massacre's looking like he's interested in coming out of that pop dog area, and Fady is going to be the one holding the angle as Nefon does get the kill onto Elusive. But it's all up on Fady right now. He's going to spot the Massacre, so they must know it. And JT's arrived just in time to turn things around. That'll be Nef on game time.
Nice angle from JT, holds it, gets the kill, and tries for the flick. That could have been amazing. And look at the spray! Nearly takes down both players. Goal's doing an amazing job on low HP, and Massacre needs to do a lot of work here. He's the guy with all the HP. And, Detrini is going to take him down, and there's JT with the kill on Massacre. It felt like that was Goliath's round. It felt like it had their name written all over it, and denied by the orbs there of JT and Detrini.
Yeah, that gap in the smoke actually just allowing... I mean, I don't know if they didn't have a smoke for the connector or what it exactly was, but that smoke actually ended up, or that lack of a smoke actually ended up turning around for them. JT coming through there with 2 very, very quick kills, really just shutting Goliath down. And once again, it just seems as though when Goliath's push onto the site is stymied, they just don't seem to have a real idea of, you know, what to do next. It's sort of like, okay, we're going to push onto the site, and what up? You know, it's like, if that doesn't work, okay, let's make a decision. But it's those, you know, 3-4 seconds that seems to really cost them in those aggression or those aggressive plays.
Fady would have heard that, I think. The timing of the drop was a little bit off there with the flash, so he should be aware of a player there. But let's see what happens. Massacre down towards Pop, and Fady going to be going in off the back of a perfect flash from his teammate. Nearly gets punished nonetheless. And Elusive should get this kill here. Does punish Neff with the deagle in the end. So 5-on-3 at the moment. And Fady in a very strong position to deny site control here for Goliath.
Yeah, and once again, it must be said that BVD with that aggressive hold on B means that they can actually cheat 4 players over onto A with some regularity. Definitely picking up goals there. And I mean, it's not necessarily only Definitely, but that's how Sonic started off in the round with the AWP. So he's also got control of the bomb now as Detrini, and I mean that just shuts down Goliath. They had the smallest chances, now they have none, I don't think.
Yeah, it would take an absolutely Herculean effort here from Hackam and Deviant, and Hackam going to be erased. Detrini so aggressive with that off. Fady should get the final kill, and he does on Deviant. That makes it 7-0. Smooth sailing for Bravado Gaming so far. And Goliath have come close on a couple of occasions, but only a couple of occasions. Most of the time, Bravado have really been stomping on them in the CT rounds so far.
Yeah, it almost, like I said, it just feels as though Goliath gets the smallest of gaps, and then BVD sort of like, you know, punches them in the nose, and Goliath just loses all, you know, loses all taste for the fight after that. And it's just a bit worrying because ideally with this amount of firepower on your T side, you should be able to just, you know, put enough together that you could burst onto a couple of sites. But BVD just constantly able to get the single frag, which seems to slow Goliath for a good 5 to 7 seconds.
Yeah, they seem to have a read of this being the B-bomb side as well. They got 3 players here now for Bravado Gaming, so they, as you've said throughout the series, Bravado just seem to have a good read of what Goliath are going to do, and they seem to be prepared for them more often than not. So actually deciding to move one of those players off, so maybe they were expecting the rush there, and I was almost half expecting it considering the buy from Goliath as well. The problem for Goliath is they've got no map control here, so if BVD want to, they can get the information, they can get aggressive.
Yeah, and again, Hackam with the grenade. I mean, I think maybe a smoke grenade might have been a little bit more useful, especially if you could just get a quick B rush. You know, smoke the ramp, rush down through there, and maybe a couple of guys through the heaven area, or the uppers area, and a couple of flashes as well. Massacre's on a Tech 9.
That's an unusual buy. You don't see that much anymore these days, no?
Nobody uses that. Almost nobody uses that. So Goliath looks like they're going to just dry walk down ramp, and JT's got the timing perfectly.
He'll be greeted by the fire, unfortunately. Massacre taking a bit of damage, and he's going to take a few bullets to the chest as well from Sonic, and that was perfectly timed. Everybody's low now, and Neff somehow gets the miracle kill. He probably shouldn't have gotten anything there. Sonic in a bit of trouble, but he should be able to get himself out of it, and he does. So only one player goes down there in Fady, and Fady did an absolute ton of damage. I think he got 3 assists in that round.
Yeah, he did a ton of damage. Unfortunately, just not able to get not able to buy a kill on that.
So we were talking about the Tech 9. Remember us playing this map yesterday, and me with the Tech 9? It didn't work so well. That gun it just doesn't work anymore.
I remember you whiffing a full clip at almost close range.
Yeah, it's you got to tap so slowly with a thing for it to actually do anything. So super accuracy though on the first bullet, but it doesn't really mean much considering the style of weapon. That nade's going to be money. Drops him to half, and just the timing undoes him there. I thought he was going to get the follow-up shot, but it doesn't quite work out. Fady again persisting with the aggressiveness. And,
Definitely, actually. super aggressive, getting caught in the middle of nowhere. There's goals. Is going to
Cool.
very nearly give his life away, and he is in
does.
fact going to speed it to Fady there. So Fady, well, he's going to hold one of the more difficult positions in CSGO. He's going to get the second kill there, so that's more than job done for the young man there. Sonic, though, is going to get wrapped on by Nefon. He's not aware of that rotation. JT and Elusive, they have it all to do. It's a 2 versus 3 on train A site. This is going to be tricky.
It'll be very
Nefon?
tricky. Nefon, though, being the sneaky man there, he should be able to follow this up as well. He is under a little bit of pressure, but it's Elusive in a 1v3. Oh, the timing! But Deviant will have his back and take Elusive down. So there's finally a round for Goliath Gaming. Can they make a comeback in this one? We shall have to see. What do you guys think, viewers? Thanks for joining us. Appreciate you being here. Do you think Goliath can come back into this?
There's the smallest chance. I mean, I don't know about the double AWP setup that they seemingly want to run.
You don't
but
sound convinced that whole sound, you know.
double AWPs,
didn't do it.
train, T side.
Yeah, I mean, it's
That's
I don't know.
brave.
I don't know.
That's ballsy. Let's be real about that. It's very, very ballsy.
Well, a very emphatic
Definitely.
nope from SA Smith, and the nope also coming out from Massacre there on Detrini's aggression. So using his spawn and his AWP really well, and it could actually work for them here. Elusive choosing to get aggressive here as well, and gonna catch him completely off guard. Deviant completely flashed. And Bravado doing the right thing, responding and losing a player and getting the trade as soon as possible.
And I mean, they cleared out Ivy, so you can instantly see they can just move Elusive all the way back, play a much more passive angle towards the Ivy area, because they know that there's not a hell of a lot going down there, so you can actually assist as Fady,
damage.
once again doing quite a bit of damage to Massacre there. He's pretty low himself though, so JT, does he get the chance? Nefon is not going to be able to hit the flick.
Yeah,
One
would
of
have
the
been a
more
crazy
difficult
flick.
flicks.
Should see a headshot coming in here. Oh, I thought Elusive had that all day, every day. If it doesn't get the headshot, takes some damage himself. We've got Jonas saying if they get some T rounds, they might come back on CT. So obviously referring to Goliath Gaming. Sonic with a pretty good angle here, and well, using the
How many
sledgehammer on the
times?
10 HP player there.
How many times has BVD been able to get up into that position and just hold that spot constantly, with Goliath not able to actually check it? JT, okay.
Just
All
turning
right,
like a
JT.
turret. Okay.
Yeah, that was just ridiculous. As it is all up to Hackham. He's got an AWP. He's going to get the first frag. He's got to deal with Sonic at close range though, as well as JT. So, unfortunately, he can get stopped by the fire, and that'll be that.
That's the reset, unfortunately, for them there. I did like that the round out of JT. Gets himself 3 with the AWP, and he's looking really good here. Let's have a look at the scores here. Sonic on 15 and 3. He's been an absolute monster on this map, and JT also doing really well, 9 and 2. Detrini also on 9. Pretty even frag distribution for them there. On the other side, Neff continuing his good form from the first map, but he needs a little bit more from the rest of the team.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, Hackham and Masker have both been largely absent tonight, so it's been a tough night for the Goliath Gaming fraggers, as it was, I mean, Deviant and Nefon in the first map, but unfortunately Deviant is just having a bit of a rough one. Yeah, Masker, I think, is the one that you'd ideally like to get more out of. JT cops a bit of damage there.
Got domed, but they don't accelerate onto the side off it. Probably wary that there's another player closer by, but it is actually
Double
2
AWP on
warps on B. Oh.
Yeah, that's very, very interesting. It looks like they've actually swapped Detrini for Sonic on the B side at the moment.
That's an interesting one. JT now on 8 HP, taking quite a bit of damage. He's got an interesting off angle there, so it could work out for him, but they're going to be pushing onto the site with the force buy. Got 2 pistols, of course, so Detrini should be able to cover the cross here. You can see they're worried about crossing. Maxlicker does get the kill. He tries for the no-scope there, does Detrini after the first kill, but Nefon is going to deny him. Deviant looking out as the bomb goes down for a possible backstab, which doesn't seem to be coming.
Well, Fady is going to burn Nefon out there, so hopefully they have somebody that can take advantage of it. Goals still all the way back on the site. Nefon, though, this aggressive play up at the front means that BVD is not actually able to get into the site, and that should be that. Sonic is going to do it again. Get the first frag, is not going to get the second. Deviant able to reset the aim just in time. Goals must have been spotted there by Fady. Surely. Yes, not? Mask kills him at range.
I'm almost tilted at how Sonic somehow got that kill. Like, he shouldn't have been able to get anything. Jumping up like that, he still gets the headshots.
I mean, he very nearly got Deviant.
I know, he nearly got the second one. That's just what tilts me a little bit. I'm just like, that shouldn't have happened. And Bravado Money finally in a really bad place. We got 2 players with UMPs. Still the AWP on Detrini, but they're actually in the position now where they can get reset. So Goliath could actually make a half of it if they can get this round.
Yeah, definitely aggressive once again, and Nefon's just going to fall right into Fady's lap, and Fady's not going to leave that behind, so that'll go down. Sonic now is able to rotate onto the B side as well. Definitely playing uber aggressive with that orb at point blank range, and somehow he's actually allowed Massacre to get into the site with him. Massacre very, very well played.
And it does.
That is going to bite him. Can Goliath take advantage of this though? It doesn't seem as though they really have position to get onto site, and Massacre going up against Sonic, who takes quite a bit more damage. Fady though could cut the rotation off, but Massacre just causing all sorts of havoc here. PvD is at 6s and 7s. You can clearly see they don't actually know where the whole of Goliath is. They know that Massacre's there, but they don't know where anybody else is.
Jeez, he nearly got his head removed. Oh, wow, Deviant just removes Elusive's head there. Spins around, doesn't know where the shots are coming from, spins around and gets the kill. This should be the round. It's a 4v2 as Sonic goes down. That was rather bizarre, but as you said, they just didn't have the information, did Bravado.
And all set up by a wonderful play there by Massacre. I mean, he only probably gets one kill in the whole round, but that round was basically entirely on him. Goals now going to be hunting the last player. That'll be JT. And he's going to get the first kill. That'll be on Goals, but unfortunately the repeak puts him right into Hackham's crosshairs.
So that's actually going to be the round where Bravado Gaming's economy is destroyed. I nearly called it Bravado's Gaming's economy. That got awkward. But yeah, economy situation awkward for Bravado, so that means they're going to save, and Goliath should be able to get this round.
Yeah, I mean, Goliath getting to 4. I think BVD should reasonably be able to buy in the next round. It'll be very, very light though, so maybe a double save territory if BVD really wants to push it and make certain of the double figures. But Goliath, they have a chance to give themselves, well, I mean, they have a chance to give themselves a chance in the second half now. They really need to get these last 2, perhaps even the last 3 rounds. Though,
I think they need the last 3.
The best opportunity.
Oh, okay, so this easy does take down Neff there. Massacre getting himself a lot of real estate here, nearly dying for it, but manages to get the flick there. We should see Goals getting the follow-up kill as well. So 3v2, it should still be Goliath Gaming's round here, but Bravado making it expensive with not very much to work with initially.
Yeah, so I mean it's not the best of rounds. 2 frags is I think certainly solid. Yeah, I mean for what they invested, it's actually pretty decent. Didn't buy a single piece of armor. I think only 2 or 3 guys upgraded pistols. So in the end, not terrible. Might have actually even gotten one more if they'd gotten a bit more lucky. But as it was, BVD still well in control of this. Going to be very light on utility all round. Fady, I mean, everybody's got a flash and a smoke, but nothing else except for Elusive, who's got a grenade. Bit of a flash. I can live with a grenade with an M4, I guess, especially considering he is holding Ivy.
Yeah, it does a bit of chip damage. It can help you in getting those kills too. We're going to see Neff actually going fairly quickly here. Taking that... going to go right through the smoke. They're trying the Stewie 2K and it's going to work out for him. Oh, no, it's not. The headshot coming in from Elusive on 4 HP. I thought he was a goner, but he gets the kill on Neff. That didn't go quite as I expected, but... yeah, it does work out there for the Bravado man, and they've got the advantage in this particular round. To answer Rian, he says the only team that can win against BVD on train is Ian or what? Well, that's so far that has been the case. I mean, we haven't really seen them pressured by anybody else on this map, but Goliath are usually very good on train.
I haven't actually seen Goliath play much of train. I know that they play Cobble. I know they played a bit of Overpass as well, but I haven't actually seen their train as much. The problem is, like the reason why BVD is so good on this map is primarily because their B site is incredibly tough to break, which means that they can often cheat 4 players onto the A site, and they already have mad fraggers. So if you're running double orbs, especially with one player as good as Sonic on the B side, it makes life very, very difficult for any opposition to be able to get on. And unfortunately, Goliath is just not able to exploit this. As you can see, Elusive getting another frag. Is he going to get a third? No, he's not. Massacre is going to win the duel at the end right there against Fady, and Elusive will clean it up. 4 HP at the start of the round, gets 3 frags. I mean, what more can you say?
Nice and easy for BVD in that particular round. We still see a buy coming in from Goliath in the last round of the half. If they can make it 10-5, it's not untenable. I mean, for me on this map, it has changed a little bit with T's, you know, being able to get more rounds lately, and probably the last 6 months of the evolution of this map. But sort of historically on the new version of Train, 10.5 is actually pretty good if they can get it.
Yeah, I mean, it's all dependent on whether you can actually hold the BVD. Can you win a pistol, I think, would be the best thing for Goliath right now.
Yeah, that
because-
hasn't happened for them. Do you see?
Yeah, they're
JC's
0
got
for
the
3 at the
dualies?
moment. Yeah.
Yeah, pulling out the cheeky stuff. Yeah, in the last round of the half. Well, I guess he figures, you know, 1 pistol's been pretty good for him so far. Why not 2?
That's what most people think, except it doesn't quite work like that. Neff
Ooh.
taking tons of damage, Sonic spotting the feet, and oh, I mean, what more can you say? Just continues to spray all the way through the wood, and Neff unfortunately not able to get much done there. So, Hacker, Massacre, Deviant, and Golds are the 4 players remaining for Bravado. Do they have enough? Sorry, for Goliath.
Oh, the
And
timing.
Massacre very nearly ends up dying for his cheekiness there. Sonic is going to molly it off, and that means it is very, very difficult for Goliath to get through here, and that is going to be too easy. Sonic gets 2 frags, one with fire, the other one with a bullet, and Golds is the last one left. The ex-BVD player, can he return a bit of pain towards his old teammates here?
Elusive waiting for him and is going to take him down there. So that's 11-4. Still all to play for you, I think, in this particular map. Goliath in with a chance. 11-4 is not the end of the world. I think the scoreline on the previous map pretty much was the end of the world, the end of the line for them on that particular map. But doable for them, yeah. The question remains, though, how good is their CT side going to be? Jeez, that was a nice shot, yeah, and warm-up from Goals.
And then he whoops everything after that. It's like you hit
That's
the
funny how
6
that
shot
works.
and that's everything else. But yeah, I mean, it's not beyond reason that Goliath could win this. I just think it's very, very tricky. It has to. They absolutely have to win the pistol. There is like no other option but winning the pistol here for Goliath if they want to have any chance of winning. Outside of that, I think I'd love to actually see Goliath's B defense, because one of the things, as I said, that makes Bravado so strong is the fact that you have Sonic on B, and he is just such an intelligent player in what kind of fights he takes. It means that he'll either get a kill early and then back off, or he'll create pressure when you actually hit the side, which means you can never push deep into B, and you can never get full control, which means it's a much easier retake for the Bravado side if you do ever get onto it. So I think Goliath is. Well, let's see if they can, pull off something similar on the B side. We saw a lot of aggression from Bravado as well towards B, especially the upper section. That was just a regular hangout for the Bravado boys. Goliath, though, knowing their fraggers, do you think maybe a little bit more pressure on Ivy?
Yeah, we'd have to see where they can actually find the best success. It's going to be really tough for them in the pistol rounds. Of course, the second map of the semi-final, Bravado taking the first map, Cobble, which was Goliath's pick. And second map of the semi-final, Goliath need to do something, and Deviant going to be doing a lot. Gets himself a kill there against 3 players facing him. He's got plenty of information as well, with Goals having pushed out as far as he has, but the timing could actually wreck Goals if he moves away from this. He's going to spot the bomb, though.
And that is a big plus. As Deviant goes down, that's actually the kit gone, so they have to
the bomb.
make absolutely certain as Bravado.
Oh, Neff! Jeez, doing huge
Okay.
work. That shouldn't have happened, and Massacre catching Fady there trying for the backstab. It just goes all goes wrong all of a sudden, and this could actually be that elusive pistol round win for Goliath Gaming.
Well, it is Sonic, so there's the slimmest of chances for BVD here.
Yeah, well, I mean, BVD's cheat code Sonic, it's not
Okay.
going to work.
Yeah, Goliath has their own cheat code. It's called Neff.
Jeez. He had a really good round then. I mean, considering the 2 players going down drop with the Glocks against the USP, he needed to hit some crisp headshots, and he did exactly that. He was in a bad situation, actually, in that sort of weapon matchup, but it works out for him. Goliath with the pistol round.
I think it was a bit staggered, to be honest.
Yeah, they
I think
were not
if they'd gone-
exactly at the same time.
There's
yeah.
that. I don't know if you've seen that new strat where you basically fall on. 2 players fall down, one on top of the other guy's head. I think that wouldn't actually be a terrible situation to try in a pistol round. As it was, that half a second gave Neff enough time to re-peek and get the second bullet.
Yeah, it does work out for them, and they finally get themselves a pistol round, which you were just pointing out a little bit earlier. So, Bravado on the force buy, and they've got the rounds to play with to do this if they want to. And you can't really count Bravado out on this sort of buy either. It looks like they're going to go pretty soon. In fact, the smoke about to go down ramp and looking to execute off it.
Yeah. Beatty just spotting his teammate through the walls. As Gold's is going to be very close. He's going to have lots of players up front.
They're
just
pushing
going to
the
rush
smoke.
through the smoke.
This is actually quite smart. They get 2 kills, but there's the 2 in reply, including the fire kill. Deviant now coming to bail them out. Could get caught, I was going to say, by Sonic, but no. Sprays Sonic down in the end, and it's all on Elusive here. If he can get the bomb down, I think that'll be sort of the moral victory that they need. It's still winnable, though, for him.
Does have a CZ. I don't think he's got many bullets, though.
He's going to get spotted, yeah. Not long for this world. Deviant there performing the rescue role pretty well for his team. I think if he hadn't come through CT when he had, it could have gone very south for them.
Yeah, I mean, just luck on timing, I guess. But BBD won't be too sad. JT's actually going to buy up a Deagle. Yeah, a couple of guys upgrading pistols there. But I mean, in general, BBD will just be saving it for the last round. So Goliath. Ideally, you'd like to be, just farming on this round, but as you can see, the damage that was done in the last round means that they do actually have to force up the FAMASs, and this is probably going to mean that their 4th round is going to be much weaker, because you don't really want to upgrade from a FAMAS to an M4 either. Not really the best situation. Is Elusive's going to go down, JT is going to get another frag there on Nefon. As Deviant is going to take a fight against Fady, and he's going to win that with some ease, so it's only Sonic left now.
Oh, that nade.
He should...
No, okay. Flew over his head. He must have appreciated it sailing over him and not actually touching any part of his virtual body there. He should get the headshot. When he does, it still makes it look good though, does Sonic?
That he does. Nothing quite like a Deagle headshot to start off a round, as Massacre will clean up Sonic there. But you're going to see the problem now for Goliath is that they either have to force buy, they either have to buy up, or they have to upgrade from a FAMAS. And you don't want to upgrade a FAMAS to an M4, which means that an M4 is already much worse than an AK, and now you have an even worse gun against an AK. So it's going to be very, very tricky for Goliath here if Bravado is able to get a couple of early frags.
Yeah, they do have the AWP though on F, which he's been pretty good with so far tonight. So they're going to be hoping that's going to do some work for them. And a lot of emphasis towards the outside site here. And they're going to be right about that, Goliath, considering the pressure bearing down on them from Ivy at the moment.
Yeah, well, I mean, Fady's really the one designed to make noise. He's the only one that's going to be apart from that 4-man pack. So, bit of the old Envious and
they're going to try for the run.
LDLC.
Yep. Here we go. Oh, and they failed it completely, so they're very, very lucky there wasn't an AWP holding that angle. You hate to see that when the run boost fails that way. It's never a good feeling. It's even worse when you're one of the players trying to do the run boost. So I remember a couple of things relying on that back in the day in my old team, and didn't feel good when it went that way. And Hackham's not going to be feeling good after that either.
Yeah, Fady gets one of those trademark quick shots through the A main area, and that'll be the end of Hackham once again. Goliath now. 4 versus 5, and this is the A site. You do not want to lose control of the site, especially not with underpowered weaponry and an AWP. It is a tough day at the office if you do so, and that'll be that. Fady picks up his second. He's not going to get the 3rd. Deviant is able to get the turn on him, but Detrony is just laying waste here. That'll be the final frag going his way. Nefon not able to pick up the frag there with the AWP. And Goliath are in a world of hurt right now. They do not have money to buy up fully. No AWP, and probably a couple of M4s if they can push it.
Yeah, they are
Otherwise,
forcing it. I mean,
FAMASs once again.
Nefon instantly went for the Deagle there, so that's pretty much committed them to the buy. And well, Goliath staring down the barrel of defeat here. They need this round basically to come back into it. And to all of you that have joined us, we really appreciate you being here. Thanks for being here. If you're enjoying the broadcast, subscribe to the channel, follow us on Twitter, see what we're up to. We're probably going to look to be bringing you guys the final from next week from the Metal State Studios. Myself and Anthrax looking to do that, so look out for that. Unfortunately, the Energy versus Big 5 semi-final had to be postponed because of some issues with the ESEA client, so look out for that coming from Recoils and ISO Wolf, some really good casters. They'll be bringing that to you, so check them out on Twitter as well. I'll also try to tweet about it as well so that you guys can be updated on when that game's actually going to happen.
Yeah, Goliath actually making a very, very good read here, as it does appear as though Bravado are inclined to go towards the side. Sonic trying to make something happen there, and it's just going to be traded off. JT also trying to take a long-range fight
That
there,
was
but
dangerous.
BV does have a couple of players towards A.
Fady is getting himself lots of ground along with Elusive, and they're going to get this bomb site almost for free. The smokes are coming in, and they're locking out Goliath from the side through the smoke. There's Sonic with the headshot. Fady also getting himself one, and got a little bit comical there, reloading, jumping up as Sonic. But they're going to get extinguished here pretty instantly. Are the Goliath Gaming players all on Hackham, and he's got nothing but a CZ to work with. Elusive takes him down. That's 13-7 for Bravado, and they're looking good for this this map and this series.
Yeah, and Goliath Gaming actually just sort of, I mean, it looked like a good read at the start, but BVD just able to very, very quickly rotate through A, and you could see just getting the one player out of A main and a couple of guys out through the pop dog area meant that they have complete control. And once you've rotated into B and the enemy's in A, like, A side train is one of the toughest sites in the game to retake. So, especially if you're running underpowered weaponry, that's not going to be a fun day at the office. As Deviant is trying to take a fight with the USP. And,
Not going to happen.
No. Oh, well, Massacre's going to get it. Somehow
Denied.
get it to work. As Nefron. Well,
Okay, that could have
Elusive,
gotten close
Fluffy.
there. Uses the entire clip to miss, and then hits him with the last couple of bullets, so doesn't quite go according to plan for Elusive, but he gets a kill nonetheless. Bomb is down, and it's on goals with nothing but a USP. Not going to happen. It's going to be 14-7.
there's a couple of players on low HP, so maybe he gets a kill or two, just does a little bit of damage. Does he get the timing, though?
I think it's going to be really difficult for him, yeah. They're also not evacuating the site in his direction. They're actually going through Ivy, so don't think he should be able to catch
And
too much, yeah.
there's no bodies that he can pick a weapon up off either, so...
They know where he is, though.
Yeah, they suspect it. Elusive? Okay.
Save that USP. Okay, not going to happen. Doesn't matter. 14-7 here, and Goliath are going to be buying up. And, well, it's pretty much last chance saloon for them. They need this round. Otherwise, they're in a force buy in the next round, and Bravado are on map and match point. So they're gonna buy up. No AWP, though, for them, which is going to hamper their efforts a little bit. Also a little light in the utility.
Yeah, I mean, they have smokes and flashes, so if they use them, well, I wouldn't say correctly, but if they use them smartly, they might be able to make something happen. Goliath, Goals again left to hold B all by his lonesome. And Deviant is unfortunately not going to win the fight. He did get an instant dink there onto JT, but somehow just, I mean, 24 damage? That doesn't seem right.
Okay, must have caught the edge of the wall or something. One would imagine, but Deviant not on the server anymore. He's left to helplessly spectate while the rest of his team are facing off against numerically superior Bravado here. And Detrony gets a nice entry there, but is going to get sprayed down. Hackham also getting a great kill before getting traded off. 3v2 at this point, and Massacre, I think the time might just destroy him here, but he gets a kill nonetheless. How did he do that?
I have absolutely no idea.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, he looked dead right, staring at the train, back to the two players, and then just not making the correct decision. Sonic is... Well, okay.
Sonic, engage the
Massacre
Sonic
can do
cheat
crazy
code.
things, Sonic will just do something similar, I guess. What a shot.
Yeah, that was almost casual in its execution as well. And, well, he did execute a few players in that round. Overall, though, wow, Goliath Gaming staring down defeat here, and Sonic on 24-11. He's gone God mode on this map.
Yeah, I mean, this is just the problem with Sonic, is that, like, it's only so many games until he will have another one of these. You know, I mean, he wasn't lighting the world on fire in game one, but as we said, it's you can never expect that. Goliath with a pretty ballsy A stack, and BVD somehow read this perfectly.
Oh, yeah. This has just consistently happened from BVD. They seem to have the measure of Goliath most of the time as to what Goliath are actually going to do. So great calls coming in from Detrony. Sonic getting the opening there. And Massacre coming in here, hoping to maybe catch somebody out of position. He's standing in the fire though, and he gets mowed down by 85 on 3. It is map and match point here in the second map of this semi-final, 2 on 5. Almost mission impossible here, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Oh, and the nade kill. Insult to injury.
It is an F1. I mean, this has been Goliath's best player of the night, so he's got a must something at this point. Can he do any more though is the question. He's going to get the second. That'll be on Sonic.
Ooh.
Third.
Oh, I almost felt like he was destined to hit that shot as well. He pre-peeked the right spot, but it's not going to happen for him. So that's the map, folks. That's the match. Bravado with an emphatic victory there. Looking really good. Goliath pushed them a little bit on the second map, but the first map was absolutely smooth sailing for Bravado, and they're going to move on to the final, where we'll wait to see who between Energy and Big Five are able to take on Bravado in that final.
Yeah, that is going to be a fascinating game, is that Energy Big Five game. I mean, Big Five has been certainly the most improved team over the second half of the year, but Energy, I think, holds the record for the most improved team over the whole year. And, I mean, I'd say Clash of Styles, the Energy much more frag heavy than the guys from Big Five, but Big Five has yet to actually beat Energy in a big game, so
yeah,
a lot
maybe
riding on that map.
Maybe an opportunity for them. We know that Wham will probably be playing instead of Flexi again, so if that is the case, I mean, that's the analyst. He's not a frontline player. He's a caster as well. I mean, we've worked together before many times. It's going to make it a little bit more difficult for them. But I almost sort of feel like Energy just had the measure of them for the majority of the year. It's going to be tough. So definitely keep your eyes open for that, guys. That's coming either later in the week or early next week. I think more than likely probably Sunday. So yeah, keep your eyes on social media. Also, a shout out to the players. A lot of them tweeting about this game tonight. Really appreciate it, guys. Doesn't always happen, so we appreciate when you guys do that. Definitely got your fans to tune in and watch. If you guys have been enjoying the broadcast, give the channel a follow, give it a like, and of course follow myself at Extremes and Profeci at Profeci Gaming on Twitter if you want to see what we're up to, and obviously news about the final, which will be coming from the Middle State studio with myself and Anthrax, and we'll probably pull Prof in to do some analysis work as well. How does that sound, Prof?
It doesn't sound too bad. I mean, I don't know what I'm going to be providing there at times, but certainly it's going to be fun.
We need a tea lady.
I could do that. I could make the best tea in the world.
Sold. Okay, so it's we've made a plan, guys. So Isa Wolf and Recalls will be bringing you that Energy versus Big Five game. Look out for that. And in the meantime, any final thoughts there, Prof?
I think Goliath just needs to figure out how to get a bit more out of Hackham and Massacre at this point, because like they clearly have the aim, but it just seems, especially against BVD and Energy, they kind of go missing. And I think it's got a lot to do with the fact that the team isn't really setting them up very, very well. Nefon did more than enough work tonight. I think Deviant also had his roles, but they just need to be able to get more out of their two primary entry fraggers. And I think once they can do that, they can be a real danger for a team like BVD and Energy.
Absolutely. Good point there. And Bravado looking very solid overall. Sonic having a vintage performance on the second map. First map, also overall good performance from the team. I think particularly Detrini had some of the highlight moments. On the second map, Train felt like Fady was a little quieter than on the first, but on the first he was also on quite the tear as well. So overall, BVD looking like they're back to their best, and I'm hoping Energy are going to be at that level we saw at ES South Africa, because that really sets up a mouth-watering final.
That it does.
Yeah, so looking forward to that, guys. We will bring you news of that when it happens in the future. But I think that's it from us. Thank you for joining. We really appreciate you guys being here. Have yourselves a wonderful evening, and look out for the next one. Cheers, guys.
It's just.
Thanks out.